Hello, 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 everyone. GMGM. This is Jack Vaca again here with Polygon Studios. We are here for the last Twitter Space of the year for us. So far as I know, at least, it's the last of these ones. Um, so, all right, got a little feedback there. But I'm very excited about some of the projects that we have here. It is just in time for the holidays, just right before the break. We've got an entire section of our ecosystem kind of involved here.
Thank you everyone for listening. This is Chris Dai from Angle. We're a project based in Japan. We're creating a Web3 Airbnb, and this is a DAO actually. And what we do here is in Japan, we've renovated vacant houses to make them into vacation rentals to be rented out Airbnb. So the NFT holders of our Angle then can get reward by staking it to have free staying at our properties that we renovated and rent out, so that we utilize our community to expand our property network, and as well as while it's not rented out as Airbnb rental house, then we give it for free for our community members use it for Web3 events or gatherings or just maybe overseas travelers coming to Japan. So we look forward to have more um, individuals and Web3 enthusiasts to join our project. I can talk a little bit more details later. Thank you very much.
Everybody on stage has transitioned one way or another from a comfortable Web 2 life, I like to say, into this, kind of uncertain light speed world of crypto. But I think it's always for a reason, right? And so I would love to learn from each of the projects, what does Web 3 allow you to do that Web 2 does not?
Yeah, actually, it's easy for us to compare to the Web2 world. We have Airbnb as the Web2 service, right? So the big difference, there's three actually. One is that the fan community actually receives incentives in the Web3 service like ours for using the service. So in Airbnb, it doesn't matter that you are a big fan of like a certain house or you're a big fan of the platform itself. The platform growth basically has nothing to do with your fans. So the platform grows, but then you don't really receive any more benefits from the platform. So instead of that, I think in the Web3 way that we certainly creates a DAO that actually will give everyone more free staying nights and more governance rights to the collective treasury, so that they can vote how to use the income that's from the vacation rental, so that the community as a whole will actually increase and in value, and by expanding, and then individuals by participating in the community will actually be getting more of the benefits. I think that's one key feature of Web3 business, and that's how it's different from the Web2. And also, of course, we look at the liquidity. So in Airbnb, let's say you rent an apartment or a house somewhere when you visit. Then if you cancel the rent, sometimes it's free to cancel, but sometimes most of the time you actually have to pay a cancellation fee. But in our system, the staying rights is basically also in NFTs. So basically, if you don't use it, you can send it to a friend, or you can sell it on NFT markets. Maybe you can even probably make a profit if your staying period is high demand. Then that actually generates liquidity, and also way for people to make returns. finally, that we actually look forward for our DAO communities to generate contents that we are using for our different properties. And that's something usually it's difficult if you do not incentivize the community members to do. So in the Web 2, like Airbnb service, basically the homeowners will have to come up with the contents, the designs, and whatever for their property. But they cannot get the fans, the users of Airbnb in general to participate in the generation of contents. So what I mean by generation of contents is sometimes, let's say we have a party, a Web3 party at one of the properties and invite different projects to come in and maybe to place some swags of different projects inside the property. So a lot of things that we can do actually. But that needs to be incentivized, and I think in Web3 world that's a lot easier to do. So overall, we believe that with a new organization like a DAO that runs such a real business and provide incentives to the participants of the community, and then that's of course the incentives are recorded in the tokens, in freestanding NFTs, and that's being recorded on the blockchain. Now, that kind of new system, I think, will be replacing the Web 2. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no worries. That's so incredible because I think I told you that I had already booked a
Yeah,
empty vacation rental in Japan, and
in Japan, I know.
I was like, oh wow, oh man,
Yeah,
I
just
could,
imagine, right? I mean, if like that
yeah,
rental is run by a Web3 community, and not just by visiting there you get to stay, but you also get connected to local community, you get
yeah,
invited to events,
yeah.
you get a lot of other perks, then
There's a
it's
lot of
probably
perks.
interesting.
Yes, the other perk is though that if I want to change if I want to change any plans, the
Yeah,
cancellation fees, of course, everything. Whereas in this other model, I could potentially make a
yeah,
return.
yeah.
There's potential there.
Yeah,
So
especially when there is conference, right? So there's
yes,
low on house reserves that you can probably transfer to a friend or sell it, right? And
yes,
that'd
yes,
be kind of
yes.
interesting.
But yeah, that would be interesting. So there's a lot of possibilities that start to open up
Yeah,
once you start talking about, what does real estate project look like in Web3, and I think a community
yeah,
run thing like this is really cool.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, we'll look forward to it.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. It's always about the people. I think the businesses have had their day, and now we're sort of switching this new gear into understanding the true value unlocks for the people that are involved. So the success of the platform depends on the strength of the network, aka, how many people are using it. So how do you envision the average person participating in this platform, and how does that impact the ecosystem and product and role that they have? I already have a million ideas
Hmm.
from my trip and from your
Yeah.
platform on how the average person can participate. But, how do you see this, governance kind of working? Like how's the average person going to participate in this?
Yeah, actually, most of our fans are average persons. So people do travel and people do stay in Airbnb and they want to find vacation rentals at the foreign country and then to kind of immerse themselves in a new cultural kind of environment. And what we can actually involve the fans to do is, of course, one that I mentioned previously is to propose events and contents that we can utilize our properties to do, such as hosting parties, bringing other Web3 events in. So all that, I think, if the our fans and our community members and the average person, they can uh, they can propose, then we can incentivize them with our tokens, free of staying at the properties, and then all with the perks. So all that we can incentivize them to do. And we are also actually are actively collaborating with other projects. let's say MetaBeat wants to do events in Tokyo, and then they probably can have like a sub event or like after party at one of the properties, and we collaborate with them, and we can offer free residence, let's say, and then we can do a co event together to promote, so that more people will learn about our Web3 Airbnb and more people will use it. So that way, I think we can expand as well. And also for people who aren't even in the Web3 world, by staying at one of our properties, one thing is, they, of course, they can learn more about Web3. We have actually we interestingly we have a metaverse digital twin of the exact same property in the metaverse, so that people can look at the website and to see the exact thing there, and also people can upload their NFT collections, so that the NFT collections and the metaverse house will be reflected on the screens. At the walls, a lot of the walls are surrounded by screens actually in the physical property. So it'll be projected on the screens, and so that people, when they stay actually physically, they'll be surrounded by their own NFT collections, or they can use that screen to flip through contents to learn more about Web3. And also by staying at our properties, we're thinking about airdropping. As long as they have a wallet, then we're airdropping some of our DAO tokens. So to kind of get them to get involved with the community, and then kind of pull people who weren't even in the Web3 into Web3. And also for people who can introduce their friends and families to stay at our properties, we also give token incentives to give them for the affiliates. So if someone who got introduction from another person, then that person also introducing our properties will also get the token incentives. So that way, they can get more perks. So those are the ways that, as you said, there are actually tons of ways to get involved with people, the ordinary people who wants to join.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I think I joked last time we talked, that if in my Airbnb there was a little QR code that said, curious to learn more,
Yeah.
I would scan it. I would probably scan it to learn more. I would
Yeah,
be
learn
definitely,
more
yeah.
and get airdrop token, right?
And airdrop tokens. Yeah, for anyone who knows what's up, that's going to be a huge, like, what? This, I can't believe this is available to me. So
Yeah,
it's really cool to see the way that you're thinking about expanding it as well.
yeah.
And the other, and there again, there's so many possibilities. I'm like, oh my gosh, I could easily find a tutor, Japanese tutor, or something like that at one of these properties if they're connected. So,
Oh, that's a good idea too.
oh yeah, especially for
Yeah,
foreign travelers, like the
yeah,
language will always be
yeah.
something
That's
very
true.
important.
Actually, we can do like a part-time tour guide, sort of, right? And then community
Yeah.
members will take you to places, very local places, like local noodle places, right?
Mm-mm. And it would
And
be like a very dutifully put, like I know that in LA, like where I live, I whenever people come and visit, I'm like, oh, I'm the tour guide. I've got to like take you to all the best places.
yeah, exactly, right. The local people knows the best places, and the incentives will be like in tokens. You can like probably put out a token reward for people who help you.
and
Yeah,
and reputation
yeah,
building and all of that.
building.
I mean, even, we can go dive down deep into this rabbit hole. I think when I'm visiting in Japan, I'll probably come visit you and we can have a
Please,
brainstorm.
please. Yes, definitely. Let's brainstorm, and yeah, we definitely want to like have more interesting contents in this, and the different ways of doing it. The Web3 way of doing it, and we do think it's better than the Web2 way of doing it, and it can make a difference. Yeah,
100%, because it gets everyone involved and that they have a say and you're building it together. And that's what's
yeah,
really beautiful about what the blockchain and Web3.
yeah.
Great.
Great. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. I want to ask one more question around collaborations because I think that's a really big component of Web3 is working with other people. And I think collaborations kind of bring the sustainability and any sort of needs, that you may have as you're building your business. The collaborations allow those things to happen more frictionlessly. So, with that in mind, are there any collaborations that you're excited about, can talk about? I know so many people are not able to talk about certain things because of celebrities, but any collaborations you're excited about that'll bring some long-term benefits?
Yeah, that's a very important pillar of our expansion strategy is collaboration. As previously talked about, there's one, of course, chance to work with MetaBeats for Japan fans and for their events to utilize our properties. And also in Japan, what we're doing currently is work with artists. As you know, there are many NFT artists in Japan, and many of them are on Polygon, actually. And they do have needs for opportunities to interact with their fans. So in our properties, we can host, and actually we did give out free nights already for the artists to host their private collection sort of viewing parties. So all the screens inside our properties will be used to display their artwork, and they can invite. Usually, our properties can house about 8 to 10 people for staying at night, but during the day it's like 100 square meters, so you can have a lot more people come in to kind of take a look and to kind of to exhibit their artwork. So a lot of people use it for that way, and we figured that we might as well just give it out some for free for joint collaboration in the marketing as well as to promote the Web3 kind of community and the NFT community locally. And then it also helps actually in another sense the local economy because we have more people visiting the area, whereas previously maybe it was just a vacant house and nobody's actually visiting and nobody was spending money in the local economy. So one collaboration, of course, with artists helps us as a DAO run business, but also we collaborate with local communities, as in like the local like physical communities, so that there are more people from overseas and more people from other parts of Japan visiting them and spending money there, so that help them grow their local businesses. So we sort of see this as a win-win situation in terms of both in the digital world and also in the physical world. And then we do collaborate with both. And of course, we're interested. If anyone wants to collaborate with us, please just send a DM to me, or contact us through our Discord or Twitter or website.
Awesome. Yes,
Yeah.
it's funny because some of these Twitter spaces, they do wind up building even more utility and even more connections through some of the other panelists that they meet. So really always
Yeah.
excited when that happens.
Yeah.
Um, awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
Get involved with these projects at an early stage and be a part of what's going to shape the future of the internet now. Any last words from any of our speakers here?
Yeah. Actually, we are inviting our early joiners to our community. So we've posted a allow list application. So if anyone's interested, please join us.